The story of the rabbit and the turtle. Once upon a time, there lived a rabbit who lived in the forest. The rabbit is known as an animal that can run fast compared to other animals in the forest. Rabbits can run very fast. He was proud of his skill. The rabbit felt that his ability was getting better at running races. He liked to talk about how fast he was compared to the other animals in the forest. "I am the fastest animal in this jungle. Anyone want to race with me?" said Rabbit. Rabbits can indeed run fast using their big legs. No other animal has ever won races with it. Because he always wins races, Rabbit feels himself to be the fastest animal in the forest. He became more and more arrogant. Wherever he went, he would say, "I'm so fast. No one will be able to beat me." All the animals in the forest began to feel annoyed with Rabbit's arrogance. They wanted him to be taught a lesson so he would come to his senses. Their conversation was heard up to the turtles. The tortoise told them that he wanted to race the hare. They were surprised and doubtful because tortoise was so slow. It took the tortoise all day to cover the distance that the hare covered in 1 minute. However, the tortoise did not falter. He still wanted to race Rabbit. With confidence, the tortoise met the rabbit who was sitting under a tree, then asked him to race. "I heard you were the fastest animal in the forest. To be precise, you were the one who thought so. But, to be sure, I want to race you. Let's see who is faster," challenged the turtles. The rabbit laughed very loudly and replied arrogantly, "You're fighting me. Ha ha ha. You're kidding. There's no way you can beat me. When you finish one step, I've already crossed the finish line." However, confidently, the tortoise still challenged the rabbit to a race. The hare agreed to race with the tortoise. The next morning, all the animals arrived at the race site, except for Rabbit. The turtles waited at the starting line smiling confidently. Bear is curious, how will tortoise beat Rabbit? If he is as arrogant and showy as you say, then this race will not be difficult, replied tortoise. Not long after, Rabbit came holding a carrot in a haughty manner. The race begins. The rabbit darted swiftly like an arrow until it was no longer visible. Instead, the tortoise started walking slowly. After running for a while, Rabbit stopped and looked back. The turtles have not yet been seen. The rabbit then decided to rest and finished his carrot. When the carrots were finished, Rabbit looked at the road. The turtles have started to appear. Grinning, Rabbit stood up and ran again. In a short time, Rabbit almost reached the finish line. He stopped again and approached a nearby tree. "I'm sleepy after breakfast. I'd better sit under this tree and take a nap," said Rabbit. The rabbit took a good nap. He was confident that he would still win the race. Unlike the hare, the tortoise kept going, albeit very slowly. He continued walking confidently past the sleeping rabbit. Not long after, Rabbit woke up. He looked at the road, but the tortoise was still nowhere to be seen. Laughing, Rabbit stood up to finish the race. He walked toward the finish line slowly. Rabbit was very surprised. Apparently, the tortoise was nearing the finish line. Then, he ran with all his might to get past the tortoise, but was too late. The turtles had arrived at the finish line first. The animals waiting at the finish line were very happy because the tortoise managed to beat the rabbit. They threw the turtles into the air with great joy. Meanwhile, Rabbit was standing in a corner very sad. Then, the tortoise approached the rabbit and said, "Mr. Rabbit, the important thing is to be consistent in doing everything. Pride is weakness. I beat you not because I was faster, but because I was wiser and took everything seriously," he continued. Hearing Turtle's advice, Rabbit realized his mistake. He was never arrogant again after that. The moral message of the fairy tale, The Rabbit and the Tortoise. From this fairy tale, it can be concluded that no matter how great our abilities are, we should not be arrogant and belittle other people. Every human being must have advantages and disadvantages of each. So we have to respect each other. Turtle's calm and humble demeanor allowed him to win the race, even though his opponent was the rabbit, who was already famous for his speed when running. We can take this point that everything that starts calmly will get maximum results compared to those who are in a hurry but are negligent.